Hello there, my name's Caveman, and I just realized I have a air conditioning going, so you probably can't hear me. I'll be right back. Hello there, my name is Caveman. A lot of people call me Mr. Cow. I don't know why they do this, they just think I look like a cow. Or something. I think I can get closer to the camera. Third time's the charm. Hello there, my name is Caveman. Some people call me Mr. Cow. That's why this YouTube channel is called what it's called. Like a lot of creative people, I have a problem, and I want to talk about this problem. That's what this video is. This video is me talking about my problem, and hopefully fixing it by talking about it. And this problem I like to call the blank canvas problem. Let me explain. Okay, so as you can see, we have a blank whiteboard here. This is my favorite thing. I love this. I love everything about this. But an analogy would work for a blank canvas, which is what I'm naming this problem after. Or also like a blank sheet of paper. See, I have paper right here. This also works, but we're using the whiteboard instead of the paper because I want to, I guess, or something. Okay, so I like this blank space here, right? Because when I see this, what I see is anything. I see anything, right? I look at this, and this could be anything. This could be Batman, this could be landscape, this could be Aragorn from Lord of the Rings, this could be Captain Crunch, who's not a pirate, by the way. He's actually just a naval captain, a navy captain, which was very disappointing to me when I figured that out. That's not important. Okay, so basically, I like this because this, I can just look at it and think about everything it could be. But that prevents me from actually turning this into anything. Because once this becomes something, it's no longer everything. It's committed to one path, right? So if I said, this is Batman. See Batman? That's Batman. I'm Batman. He says, I'm Batman. But anyway, once this is Batman, now this can no longer be Captain Crunch, right? Now I could put Captain Crunch over here. Ooh. And Captain Crunch has a C on his hat, maybe? He has like a face, he's got a big old mustache. He says, I'm not a pirate, bet you thought I was. But nope, I'm just a Navy man. Doop-de-doo. Okay, so now it's Captain Crunch and Batman. Now, that's kind of a weird combination. Like, does Captain Crunch actually belong in Batman? These two things maybe seem out of place from each other, right? So I'm like, okay, I guess I can't do Captain Crunch and Batman. So what am I supposed to do? Because I want to draw Captain Crunch and I want to draw Batman. Now, if this is making any sense to you, you're probably as crazy as I am, I guess, or something. But my point is that when I go back and I look at my canvas in this state, like, this is exciting because right now I'm really into Batman and I'm really into Captain Crunch, let's say, for the sake of this. Not a big fan of cereal, generally. Occasionally, I like Captain Crunch. That's not important. So if I see this and I'm like, oh, I could draw Batman or Captain Crunch, then once I pick a direction, it starts to become less fun for me because I know I have to pick Batman or Captain Crunch. I could try and do both. That would make the scene too busy, right? And this is my problem. This is the blank canvas problem. Is when you have a blank canvas, it's exciting because it's everything. Everything exists right here. This could be everything. But then once I put something on it, it can no longer be everything. However, if I never put anything on it, then it will never be anything. So how do I combat this? Let's talk about that. Hello there, welcome back. I'm still here. I like to talk a lot and say things that aren't important, like Captain Crunch. Okay, so this is a sketchbook. See, I will show you how much of a sketchbook this is. This is a sketchbook. This is from the establishment of Walmart. I was doing my shopping. I put this in my cart. And I purchased it, and now I own it. This was a blank sketchbook. Okay, so I got this sketchbook, and I arrived at my home, and I set this sketchbook right here on this pile of books. You can't see, but there's a pile of books here. Pile of books, see? Books. But anyway, so I put this sketchbook on this pile of books where it remained for several weeks. And because of the blank canvas problem that I've been describing to you, nothing ever went on to the sketchbook. Until I was inspired by just some stuff I was seeing on YouTube of people just sort of having fun with art, right? So I had this idea, and this is something I've done in the past, but I just sort of decided to throw up my hands and say, okay, this doesn't have to be good, it doesn't have to be beautiful, it doesn't have to be wonderful, it just has to be something from me. Something leaks out of my brain onto the page through my pen. Something like that. So, anyway, with that being said, I drew a very not good picture, right? I was just sort of like throwing ideas onto the page. I'm like, this doesn't have to be wonderful, this doesn't have to be brilliant, nothing like that. So anyway, this is, I'm not sure how well you can see this, but this is a scene I just sort of came up with. Alice in Wonderland has been floating around in my head, in my brain, in my thinking part inside my skull. But anyway, so this just sort of came out of nowhere. I've just, random ideas I've been throwing around, just started scribbling on the page, and I wish I had a picture of how this looked prior to today, because it was pretty ugly. And then, I just sort of threw it down, and again, left it on this pile of books, because I'm like, it's just ugly. But then today, something just kind of clicked in my head that was like, there's something to it, It's like, it's not good necessarily. My rough scribbles, they aren't great. And then I was like, okay, but there's a start. So I saw this picture and I started pinning, excuse me. So I saw this picture and I started pinning over it, and I just sort of committed myself to it. I said, okay, I'm just gonna try things, right? It doesn't have to look good, but what if I tried, right? And then it doesn't look good, okay? Well, I just put it on this book, in this pile of books, on my table here, and I ignore it. I never go back to it, right? What does it matter? So then I tried it, and I was like, I'm gonna try my best to do something that looked good. And I'm gonna put a picture up here of sort of what I've pinned so far. And as you can see, like, hopefully you can see the partially erased where his legs used to be. They used to look really wonky, really weird. So I was like, okay, well, what if I used sort of a picture of myself to sort of get his feet in a more natural sort of position. So I took this picture. Yeah, that's a cool picture of me sitting on a couch, laying on a couch, being on a couch. But anyway, just little things where I'm like, you know, it's like, what if I tried, right? That's the question. Because, like, this is right here, the white canvas. It's really, really cool. It's really cool to have a white canvas that you could turn into anything. And then you say, like, if I go and I draw, like, a really cool guy. This guy is really cool, you know. He's got the long mullet type hair, you know. He's got like pointy shoulders. He's got like a cool cape, right? You're like, oh, this guy could be so cool. And of course he has a sword, because swords are awesome. And I'm now realizing you can't really see what I'm drawing. But that's okay. So I drew this guy, right? And now I look at him and I'm like, oh, but he's not as good, right? But at the same time, would he be any better if I didn't draw him? In my imagination, maybe. But this is a step in between what's in my imagination and what's here, right? A lot of times you have to be bad at something before you can be good at it. That's like my life motto at this point. So anyway, I just said, okay, whatever, you know, I want to draw. And so, you know, I started pinning this picture, and, you know, I have this. And I'm like, dude, there is nothing more rewarding to me than the process of just creating stuff. I just love it so much. So with that being said, I guess I would encourage you, if you have a book to write, if you have a picture to draw, if you have a cosplay to put together, if you have a movie to make, a cartoon to make. I make cartoons on this YouTube channel, actually, and I've been having trouble getting into it. Again, because of the blank canvas problem. I've been having trouble because of the blank canvas. But if you make something bad, so what? You can just set it on your table in your pile of books and never look at it. But if you make something and you say, what if I put a little bit of work? And then a lot of times you'll step back, and instead of being discouraged, like, even if it's bad, you'll be like, maybe there's something to it. So, with that being said, that's the end of this video. I want you to make stuff. In takeaway, I want you to make stuff, and I want to make more stuff. And this is a weird video that probably doesn't make sense to anyone but me. But I hope you got something out of this video. And I think just sort of talking through this sort of creative boxing match I've been in, I think it's been kind of nice. And honestly, like, I like making things. I like making videos like this. I like making pictures like this. I like making action guys with swords and capes like this. So, if you got anything from this video, I would appreciate it if you liked the video. And subscribe. Is it just me? Or each time I say subscribe, it's kind of cringe. But, I'm gonna maybe try and pour out some more videos similar to this one. So if you're interested in this, yeah, you can do that. You can subscribe. You can click subscribe. I wonder what exactly I have to say to get the subscribe button to light up, because that's something that happens somehow. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Goodbye. Thank you for not having anything better to do than listen to me talking about my creative wrestles. Class dismissed. Boom, explosion.